Hello Virgo, thank you for joining me. Thank you for returning if you're a returning subscriber. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. And please don't forget to like and subscribe or to like and share. This is a general reading. It may not have elements in it for everybody, but take what works for you. It could also apply to somebody that you're close to at this time. You may see elements of this in someone else. If you have strong influences in your birth chart associated with another sign, then please feel free to look at my other videos and cross-watch there. I have shuffled and laid out the cards already. I work with the 12 houses of the zodiac, so as the cards are appearing in each house, then those are the influences that are coming to bear at this time. So now in the first house you have Saturn return age. So the first house is the house of yourself, your actual physical appearance, your vitality, your actual physical body, your own self-oriented interests, and it's also how you appear to others. So it's your appearance, but also how you appear to, how you come across to others. So it's your personality and your observable characteristics. And it's also about your personal independence, how you are moving through the world and how others are perceiving you at this time, what you're projecting outwards. So with Saturn return age in there, this is a return card. So this implies that this is something coming back now. It doesn't matter if you're a young person or an older person. It's about it's always about gaining wisdom and experience and applying those in this area of your life. So for some of you that are a bit older, you may be feeling your age, or you are facing age-related issues. This could be coming out in all kinds of ways, whether it's physically related or you're interacting with others that are experiencing age issues. So you're perceiving this, and you may even be projecting it outwards in some way. You could just be showing that you have a lot of wisdom and experience as well. So this could be something that you're projecting. It also could be physical issues, as in bones and teeth, and hair graying and so on. So now this card is also about facing things. Saturn is always about facing things, facing the truth, or the truths about situations, or just about yourself. It's also about taking stock about what is infirm or hasn't been based on a strong foundation in your life, or something that you've outlived or outgrown. All of those things will fall away, and they need to fall away, so that you can rebuild and build something better, something that suits you now. So this is about time to live your life, take responsibility for your own goals, your own dreams and your own affairs. This can apply to anybody at any stage of life. You may be feeling a bit discouraged at this time about something. Look at what is not working for you. Anything with a wobbly or a weak foundation will fall away, and it will need to be built up again. So you might just notice certain things disappearing, or certain aspects that you've relied on previously may be changing now or requiring change. This card is also about correction. So how you have been doing things previously now needs to be corrected, and you're off in a different direction. But you'll be told, you'll know, you'll sense what needs to be done, or it would, if it's something you've been putting off, then it will come back to you in quite a dramatic way. So I'm talking about those that have perhaps been through most of their life now, and they're now facing things that have come around again from a long time ago. All right. So this is also about gaining understanding, looking at things that were in your life and making them better or transforming them in some way. But it's always about slow progress, about building solid foundations for things. You can't move forward with whatever it is that you're doing on a wobbly foundation. It simply won't work, not with Saturn. Then in the first house we have Sagittarius in the second house we have Sagittarius IC. So your second house is your house of your money coming in. So it's your income or whatever money that comes in for you. It's also the house of ownership and possession. So whatever you own or you possess, or you want to own and you possess. It's also the house of your value system. So this is value for yourself, and value for others or value for things. It's also the house of self-worth, your particular self-worth. So with Sagittarius, I see coming in, it's quite an expansive card. This is a card about wanting to reach for more. It's an expansive card. So you may be feeling quite restless at this time. You might be actually needing to give yourself a bit more freedom in some way. So that could be the cause of the restlessness, or you're just feeling that you're feeling restricted at this time, and you want to grow something. One of the ways to deal with this is just to change your routine up, change your routine, or have less routine. Okay, but this card ultimately is about expansion. It's also about honesty, having your cards on the table, being clear about what you want. It can bring in luck for you as well. But I feel maybe what you could do is put money aside for an adventure or a trip, or in some way to take a break of some kind, whatever the break is for you. Or it could be something that you want to study, just something that's going to change things around for you and pique your interest. This card is very adventurous and exploratory. It could also just be expansion of yourself, and that follows on from your first house as well, because you're wanting to, you're going to be assessing what's going on in your life, how you appear to others and so on. And you may have been coming across as quite serious, and now you want to take what you've learned and move it forward. And that could be the cause of the restlessness as well. But this is a card of expansion. And as I said, luck could be coming in for you, some kind of boost. But it's also about giving yourself a bit more freedom in something, either in your daily life or in something that you want to do, just to break things up and bring in fresh energy. Then in the third house, we have Virgo, I analyze. So this is your home card coming in here. Third house is the house of communication, all forms of communication, whether it's written, verbal, body language. It's also the house of documents and contracts and short trips, local trips. So with this card, communication, this communication can be with the wider public or in your work sphere or just with people in general, but it can also be with family members. So this can be cousins, siblings, aunts, uncles, even neighbors can come in. So with this card coming in, it's indicating that writing will be important for you at this time, because written things come in under Virgo. So writing will be important, your words will be important, but also with this comes analysis of some kind, evaluation. Numbers and figures may come in as well. So it's about getting organized, it's about streamlining, decluttering. When we say decluttering, that could be your documents, your papers, or it could be the way you communicate or the way you write. Perhaps you need to streamline your communications a bit, but you need to keep things clear and positive and also helpful, because with this card comes in perfectionism, worry, and also overthinking. Health worries could be there as well, and it may have no foundation at all. It could just be something that you're concerned about. Research may come in about that, or just research in general. But also criticism comes in with this card. So whether you are experiencing criticism from others or you are dishing it out, just be aware of that. Be careful with that. What you want to do is to bring out the best Virgoan qualities, which is to get organized, to streamline, to analyze, to look at the positive and the negatives, but you also want helpful solutions. All right, that's what you want from this. You want helpful solutions, whether you're in paperwork that you're dealing with or whether it's the way you communicate. All right. With short trips, nature is highlighted with this card. So this trips into nature are going to be very beneficial for you. Then in the fourth house, we've got Aries, I am. So the fourth house is your house of home, your physical home. But also the atmosphere in the home or the people in your home. It could cover a number of things. It also is your relationship to your family, your family, your foundation, your roots, your ancestry, your ethnic identity, all of those aspects. It's your relationship with that. So now with Aries, I am coming in. There may be some strong energies going on in your home that you're going to have to deal with in some way. Or it could be very fast-moving events occurring. This is also a getting started card. So this is like a spark has been lit and it's getting started. So whether you're doing renovations or you're changing something in your home, some things could be very fast-moving. It could be very quick what needs to be done. But this is also perhaps you doing things in your home or just clearing the energy in your home. It's about enthusiasm, it's energy. It's also assertive, but you want assertive, measured action. You must avoid quick temper reactions or any kind of arrogance and aggression, which can come in with this. Because you may feel provoked. You may be provoked, or there may be circumstances going on which just really start to rise to the bait of that. You need to be assertive, but it's measured action. You may need to compromise as well, just to keep things flowing, but you also may need to take leadership in some way. You could be having a competition of some kind, or there's competitive energies going on, but there may be challenges. You may feel tested in some way, and this could be due to insensitive people around you or in your home life. It's that kind of thing, but it could also be, as I said, very inspirational, enthusiastic, getting things done, putting energy into your home in whatever way that is right for you. Then in the 5th house, we have Cancer, I feel. So your 5th house is your house of creativity or creative activities that you may be involved in. It's also the house of children. So whether this is your children or children that you are involved with somehow. It's also the house of love affairs, and it's the house of recreational activities, all kind of fun activities, all kinds. It could even be sports. Okay. So now, with this coming in, because this is Cancer and it's all the feelings, it's all your feels, it's the moon, it's ruled by the moon. This is going to bring in sensitivity, moods, cycles, high emotion. You may be feeling protective, or even being overly protective as well. But it's always about, this card is always about following your innate wisdom and feelings, all right? So you've got to go with those at this time and just sense things, how to move forward or whatever it needs to be done. You could also be experiencing a lot of nostalgia or memories of the past, and dealing with issues from the past, or just thinking back. Just don't live there. Don't live in the past, because that can hold you back. It could also prevent you from moving forward, which is also indicated with this card. You may need to retreat periodically just to balance yourself, so that spend time on your own to balance your energies, balance your moods, deal with any cyclical behavior, or just to feel better, all right? And to deal with anything that you may need to do. Or it could be your children, or the children you're associated with may be going through this moods and cycles and high emotion, or just a lot of sensitivity going on. This card also brings in a feminine influence, so there could be a feminine influence which you are interacting with at this time, whether that's a love affair or somebody else that you're associated with, or you could just be tapping into the feminine side for a creative project, or in some way. Female or mother issues may come in, pregnancy may be there. It's all the female associated issues, women and mother influences and female influences could come in for you in this. This card is also about being resilient, all right? Being resilient to what is going on in your environment. It's also about creativity and food and nurturing and family. So these could all be activities that you're busy with at the moment, or maybe you want to undertake an activity, a creative activity, or something to do with food, or something to do with nurturing, whether it's childcare or just nutrition and various other aspects about looking after the people that are in your care, or just yourself as well. Something may be hidden with this card. Some things do get hidden under the moon. But just see how it plays out for you. But it is about being sensitive to what's going on, and also sensitive to others, and and just feeling your feels, your wisdoms, and you're using your intuition as well. Then in the sixth house, we have South Node, Life's Debts. So this is a karmic card coming in for you. So your sixth house is your house of work, your workplace, or your work colleagues, or whatever work project you may be involved in right now. So you might not necessarily be in a job or a specific workplace. You could be working on something on your own. So it's also the house of health and diet and the house of pets. So now with this coming in, karmic factors are at play in this house for you. So you could be feeling a little bit trapped at this moment. Changes need to be made, but you're not quite sure what to do or how to do it. If you're trying to work through trying to follow a path and it's got lots of blocks or obstacles or restrictions and difficulties, then it's time to assess that and perhaps change direction, because constant obstacles like that is an indication that the past needs to go and something new needs to come in for you. But you can't bring the new thing in until you let go of the old thing, all right? So release the old so that you can turn towards your future, all right? This is also about releasing baggage, all kinds of baggage, whatever that may be for you. This is a turning point card. As I said, fate and destiny are involved in here, but it's also karmic, deeply karmic. So it's a turning point. There could be endings and beginnings. You can't bring a new thing in the beginning in without an ending, all right? Whatever it is, you're going to be feeling out of your comfort zone for a while, but that's important, because when you're in that situation, you're driven to get out and make new contacts and seek new paths, try new things, and you might have to keep trying and trying and trying until you hit the right thing. It could also be that you're feeling very put on at the moment, like you've got a lot on your plate and you're working long hours and you're striving to get somewhere, and it just feels a bit difficult at this time. But just to press on with that. Also, this card may also be about doing repetitive skills that you've done over a long period of time. You can do them in your sleep. This is not a good position to be in, because you're not growing. You're not actually striving for anything. You're just doing things in almost like in a robotic fashion. This card has come in and it's going to come in and really going to upset the apple cart for you. It will bring about change, forced change. So if you're feeling in that situation, you're in a rut of some kind, do everything you can to change it yourself, because when you do that, you meet the universe, all right? But if you keep burying yourself and don't allow yourself to change, then it will be changed for you, and it can be quite unpleasant, okay? So it's really is also about meeting soul family, people that you are deeply connected to at this time, who are going to assist you through this period of change as well. It's about going towards your future, what you came here to do, all right? This card can also bring in issues with addictions and depression. And the depression comes in from when you are living too much in the past, or you are not being creative. The minute you stop your creativity, then you fall into that situation. You fall into the rut, into the depression. Very hard to get out of that. So bring creativity into your life. That's not necessarily being artistic. Being creative can be many, many, many different things. But it's something that you need to do. You need to bring that in to actually move you forward now. Then in the seventh house, we have lunar eclipse change. So this card coming into your seventh house is your house of your close personal one-on-one relationship. So whether this is a love relationship or a business partnership or some other close personal relationship, but it's one-on-one, right? So what it's telling you is that changes are coming. They could be very unexpected, and probably more than likely they will be unexpected, even abrupt. But it's an upheaval of some kind. Always, it's necessary and inevitable. So this could be something that's bubbling over now. So it could have been something that you just put off, or you overlooked it, and now it's bubbling over front and center. You've got to deal with it. But it's the speed and what it brings with it, what comes in its wake, that really will upset the apple cart for you. So there is an upheaval on its way, some kind of change. But this could also be just a new attitude or a new perception, which you are now opening yourself up to. So it's a whole new looking at you looking at something with a whole new view. This can also come in with this card. It's also perhaps reaching a new level of understanding, perhaps in this relationship. Perhaps you're going to the next level in this relationship. So there could be a deepening of a relationship, or it's a transformation of some kind, or it could even be an ending. All right. So it's that kind of energy coming in. So you'll have to just see how that pans out for you. But I think you will know in your heart deeply what it is that needs to be done. The changes, as I said, will very often happen quite quickly and unexpectedly, and then it could play out within 6 weeks or within 6 months. So it completes over that period, and that's all coming in on your 7th house. Then in the 8th house, we have a lovely card. We have Sun Spirit. So your 8th house is your house of big finance. So this is investments, insurance, inheritance, taxes, banking, accounting, investments of all kinds of insurances, taxes, anything like that. Any kind of big money, big finance. It's also about handling other people's money. So you may be in that profession, or you're doing that at the moment. It's also the house of the deepening of the deepening commitment between two people. So whether this is a love partnership or a business partnership, it's the merging of your finances and your emotional resources. So it's the deeper commitment. It's also the sexuality if it's a love partnership. So this is the next level. This is the next level. It's the merging of your material and your emotional resources, and everything that goes with that. It's a powerhouse. Things can end in this house and things can begin. So with the sun coming in here, this is a very, very happy, beautiful card to be coming in. The sun's rays literally are shining in this house for you. So I feel this is almost like regeneration. It's like a boost to your life force. It also can be a second chance coming in for you. But it's also about confidence, about happiness, about generosity, leadership. You may be asked to lead in some way. It's also about being noticed, being literally in the sun's light. So being noticed and inspiring others, being very influential of others. Or you could be receiving huge inspiration on something. You could also be receiving a reward of some kind. You could also be coming across as very charismatic, strong, honorable. All of that comes in here. It's about showing your full potential as well. So whatever that works for you however that works for you in your 8th house, it could just be the generosity thing where you are able to be generous in some way to help another. But you could just be feeling really happy with how things are unfolding at this time. And there may be a celebration of some kind in the summer months, like an event or a party which involves children or family, some kind of very happy party or event, as I said, coming up for you. That may be something that you're planning as well. Then in the 9th house, we have part of fortune increase, another lovely card. So this card's coming in on your 9th house, which is quite a broad house. It covers everything to do with adventure and exploration, all kinds connected to that. It's also the house of you meeting the world or the world meeting you in some way. So this is international travel or international relations of some sort. It could be online or through publishing, learning. It's also about foreign things, being exposed to foreign things, whether that's concepts or people or religions even, or belief systems, anything like that. Import, export. It's also the house of, as I said, publishing, teaching, higher education, which is university level or adult education. It's also the house of religion, belief systems, philosophy, and the law. All right. It's also the house of in-laws, so that may coming in for you. It's as I said, it covers a great deal. So now, with this card, it also covers public relations and promotional work as well. So now, with this card coming in, It's really it's also about it's about these sort of stirring of talents and gifts which have been latent in you in some way. So that may be activated at this time, and through that you may need to study something. You may be activated to study something in order to harness those talents and gifts which perhaps you either didn't use, or you somehow didn't realize they were there. Something's activating them. But if that's not coming in for you, then it could also be just that you're experiencing an ease of flow in your life in this particular area. There's opportunity for success. And studying is highly indicated with this as well. You could also be receiving benefits of some kind. So fate delivers benefits to you. It could also be that you're receiving recognition, or you're achieving, you're reaching a level of achievement as well. So it's about somebody or something seeing that and you being recognized and rewarded for that. It could also be about popularity as well. It's also about luck and good fortune. So it could be an overseas trip that you're going on, which somehow has benefits for you. It could be, as I said, to do with study. Study is highly indicated with this, just because of the rising of the talents and the gifts, and perhaps the benefits that are coming to you to harness even further on that. But there's opportunities for success galore with this card. It really is a very, very potent and very important aspect coming in, and you can turn it however it suits you in the 9th house. Then in the 10th house, another lovely card. 10th house is the house of career. This is your career, your ambition, your fame, your reputation, and your public status. It's also the house of authority figures. So whether this is a father figure or a mentor or a guide of some sort, somebody that is could come in to assist you. It's also what you look up to, what you have looked up to in your life. So now, with this coming in, the Leo card brings in originality, creativity. So you may be asked to really pull that out of yourself at this time, or you may just feel that you're naturally exuding that in some way. Children are highly indicated with this, or young people. So you may be working with them or involved with them in some way. Also, the public professions come in with this. So this is acting, media, publishing, sales work, and artists also come in under this. But it's about individuality. It's about showing your personality, really, really marketing you as a brand, your particular originality, your unique self. It's about showing that at this time. And this coming into your 10th house is a wonderful aspect to be having. It's also about receiving recognition and appreciation, which you've already had in the 9th house, and you had it in the 8th house as well. So you may be getting a monetary reward at some point in connection with all of these things that are going on. So it's about receiving recognition. You may just be in the spotlight. Appreciation is coming your way. It's also about growth in reputation and career. So that is indicated. You may be multitasking and really enjoying that. It's about spontaneity. You may also be enjoying concerts and nightlife associated perhaps with your career or something that you're involved in, or it's somehow associated with what you're doing. So all of that is indicated, but it's a very bright and sort of cheerful, outgoing card, and it's all about attention, receiving attention. Then in the 11th house, we have earth element stability. So now this card coming in for you in your 11th house, this house is to do with your friendships and the networks that you're involved in, or you building up your networks. It's also about all kinds of groups that you may be involved in, whether it's a social group or some other kind of group like a society or an association, somewhere where you're involved with others. It's also the house of your personal hopes and wishes, your dreams and your visions, and your personal hobbies and interests. Okay, it's also the house of trends in society, or global trends, group consciousness, things like that, social reform and causes. Um, so now this coming in for you, what it's doing, it's got a couple of aspects that are coming in. It could be that you're wanting to pursue interests in living close to the land. So this is like organic, natural, growing things, farming, working on the land, or just purchasing a piece of land which you now want to have as a sort of a holiday place, or build up slowly. You're building a house there, or it's just something to do with that, or it's an interest in that. Perhaps you're joining a group, an online group, or you're just following some group to do with that. It's about that, living close to nature in all its forms, which is highly indicated with this. It could be a social reform that you're interested in, or some sort of global consciousness that you're wanting to explore. It's also, in all cases, it's about being practical, methodical, taking your time. Duties come in under this as well. So being dutiful, being patient, things taking shape and becoming more solid for you. So something is developing. It's also about becoming more self-assured. Okay. So with this card also, you may be making very beneficial contacts at this time. So meeting the right people. These people are going to be very helpful to you going forward. So nurturing those contacts, cementing that. You may also be experiencing a bit of almost like a stubbornness of your views, almost like old views that need updating. So just be aware of that. You need to go after what you want without fear. So you don't want sort of older ideas and attitudes holding you back. All right, you need to be able to try a few new things and explore a little bit as well. Not too non-traditional, because the stability card is earth element is much more traditional. It's just about trying new things and seeing what else may work. It's also could be that you're going into business, or you're involved somehow in a business. Then in the 12th house, we have Chiron healing. 12th house is all about the unconscious, your unconscious self, your basically your hidden motives and drives and inner self. It's your inner self that you don't often show to others, and it's not on show to everybody. This is your inner self, your inner world. It's also the house of spiritual life, meditation, mysticism, healing of all kinds, which is highly indicated with this card. Also about taking time out, so that's withdrawal and retreat. It's also the house of escapism and addictions of all kinds, and also your experiences in institutions of all kinds. So that's hospitals, banks, libraries, universities, all of those sorts of places. Any kind of institution, it's your experiences there, whether you're going there or you're going with another. So now with Chiron healing coming in, you may find, since this is coming into your 12th house, it's all about healing. This is all about healing, whether it's your internal healing or you're going to an institution where somebody is receiving healing. It's all about that. But healing is the main factor for this. So now you might find, because this is a 12th house, old sorrows and hurts are rising to the surface. When that happens, that is your indication that you've got to get it all out, look at it, shine the light on the things, accept them, understand them, and then deal with them. So this could also be old patterns of behavior which are starting to appear again. You've got to do the same thing. You've got to face them and resolve. Find ways to resolve. And in the 12th house, it's entirely possible to do that, because you've got access to many ways to actually deal with these things. It's basically transformation of those old issues and old things, even emotional wounds from long ago, or just any kind of emotional wound that is sitting there. It's transformation of that. But you first of all, you have to bring it to the light. You have to accept. You have to look and see how this has played a part in your life and what is the purpose behind it. And finding healing on that. Contemplation comes in. So this is where the retreat, the withdrawal, and the meditation comes in, even spirituality. It's about spiritual growth. This is how you grow. You deal with all those emotional wounds and issues. It's also about obtaining health and well-being. This could be forced on you in some way, or you could just be dealing with it. But it's also about exploring natural remedies, homeopathy, chiropractic, natural therapies, as well as medicine. But if you're studying this or you're involved in some other way on the more science side, then it will be quantum physics. It could be medicine. It could also be astrology, because that also falls in under this. So it's understanding the function of illness and disease in a person's life. What is it? What is the function of it? What is it bringing up? What needs to be dealt with? Just be aware you might also, an accident might occur which then forces you into the institution to deal with certain things. So just be careful with that at this time. All right, Virgo, hope you enjoyed that. Please don't forget to like and share, or like and subscribe. And have a wonderful month. Take care, and I will see you next time.